This is CBC Here and Now.
Welcome to Here and Now's online edition for Tuesday, March 24th. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Ashley Brawweiler joins us just ahead with details of a winter storm coming our way. But first, let's get to the latest on how COVID-19 is affecting Newfoundland and Labrador. There are 11 new presumptive cases of COVID-19 in the province. They're all related to travel or to a cluster of previous cases. Those cases are all within the eastern region. Public health officials are now tracing their contacts, and that brings the total number of cases here to 35. Now, the government here also ordered more businesses shut, such as physiotherapy clinics. Premier Dwight Ball spoke at today's briefing. He's urging people to follow the new rules and restrictions put in place because he says too many people are not.
What we're seeing here today is a result of people going in a public setting and spreading COVID-19. This is unacceptable. So when you socialize, remember, socialize in gatherings of 10 or less, but socialize only when necessary, as Dr. Fitzgerald has said about shopping and so on. If you do not follow those guidelines, you have to know that you are threatening the lives of loved ones and your own life. So we cannot stress this enough. You need to stay home because we are indeed talking about saving lives.
Now, the health minister had some angry words today about some fake news spreading throughout the province on Facebook. It's this video. It shows passengers getting off a plane and not being greeted by health officials for screening. But Health Minister John Haggie says these passengers were traveling on a plane that originated within the province, so they did not need to be screened. He says this sort of false information is causing more harm during the pandemic.
It was of people appearing to come down the stairs at the airport to an empty baggage area where no one was meeting their flight to advise them of the health issues around COVID-19. What nobody knew was that that flight was a domestic flight. It originated within the province. There was no one on that flight from outside this province who had not self-quarantined. The effect that that had on the public in terms of undermining confidence in our public health system and the work of our healthcare professionals, and the demeaning and demoralizing effect it had on those staff from Eastern Health who spent all day in that baggage hall meeting flights from outside the province cannot be calculated. I cannot fathom why anyone in their right mind would do this. It is simply malicious and unforgivable. This is not who we are. So please, please listen and please think that what sounds like a good joke after you've had a couple of drinks on a plane is not a good idea in the health and well-being of the people of this province.
And the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary is urging the public to use online forms to report people who are not self-isolating instead of calling the police. Now, this photo shared on Facebook today shows police officers responding to a call outside a grocery store in Conception Bay South today, just outside of St. John's. Police say it was a call for assistance over concerns of self-isolation. A police spokesperson says officers are obligated to respond to calls, but the proper course of action is to submit a public form. And those forms are reviewed by police cadets for follow-up. The RNC says there is no way of confirming at the scene if a person should be in self-isolation or not. Well, Canada Post has temporarily shut down its main processing plant in St. John's, and 13 postal workers are in isolation after one of the employees tested positive for COVID-19. All of those employees attended a funeral last week in St. John's and later learned another attendee has the virus. One of the workers now in isolation is the union representative, Craig Dyer.
Things are changing hourly at 98 Kenmount Road. And the stress and anxiety of the workers is unbelievable.
Dyer says he found out on social media that someone at the funeral home tested positive for COVID-19. All Canada Post employees at the Kenmount Road location were sent home, and Canada Post is doing a deep cleaning of the facility. The plan is for the plant to reopen Wednesday afternoon and to have mail flowing once again in St. John's and Mount Pearl by Thursday. But Dyer says the employees are still concerned about their safety.
And the trust factor is key here. A lot of workers don't believe that Canada Post or Canada Post management are taking the health and safety seriously for our workers. One big thing is that we'd like to be part of the discussions when they actually talk to community health or the health authority, so we can hear firsthand and pass the information on. Right now, it's the fear of the unknown.
Some employees from the Department of Fisheries and Oceans also went to Call's funeral home. As a result, DFO has sent 4 employees home to self-isolate. DFO says it's also making sure the Northwest Atlantic Fisheries Centre and the Canadian Coast Guard headquarters get a thorough cleaning. More restrictions put in place in St. John's. Metrobus, the region's public transit system, is limiting its buses to only 9 passengers effective today. That's to ensure there's enough distance between passengers to prevent the spread of COVID-19. It's also asking passengers to limit trips to essential travel only. And the City of St. John's is also closing all city parks, ball fields, and dog parks. That's in addition to shutting playgrounds, which happened last Saturday.
We're dealing with trying to minimize the impact of this. There's going to be things done that people are going to miss in their daily routines, and this will be one of them. I mean, nobody takes any pleasure in closing the parks, but we do what we need to do in order to protect the public and safety and health. And this is a decision that we felt was necessary in order to fully address the issues that we're facing.
Memorial University says in-person classes will not resume until at least September 2020. It's also pushing convocation for new graduates to the fall. The spring semester, which includes intersession and summer session, will continue remotely.
Hey everyone, Ashley here with my living room forecast. It was a pretty nice day out there today. We'll take a look at the temperatures first, hovering around the 0 to -1 degree range pretty much across the board. We've got those temperatures reaching 2 degrees for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and temperatures pretty much sitting there. We may have lost a degree or 2 here and there, but overall that's where we're sitting right now, 0 degrees in St. John's. If we take a look at what's happening, we do have that next weather maker on the way. The morning was beautiful for most of us across the island. We did see that increase in cloud. We're already starting to see those flurries and light snow for most of western portions of the island. That's spreading towards the Avalon as well. Within the next couple of hours, we will start to see some heavier snow moving in, and that's again with our next system, as you can see. Starting to see a few flurries around the metro area, but that heavier stuff will move in within the next few hours. So we do have winter storm warnings in place from the Conagra Peninsula all the way through to the Avalon, now including Terra Nova as well as Bonavista, and then a blowing snow advisory in place for Burgeo. So what we're going to see tonight is that snow continue to spread across the island. Those winds are going to pick up along the south coast. You'll see 70 to as much as 90 kilometers per hour possible, and with that heavier snow, we'll see blowing snow for most of the evening. And then as we head overnight, we'll start to see a transition potentially through to either freezing drizzle or drizzle in the early morning hours for the metro area. The southern Avalon looks like it should change over to rain, but those winds will start to ramp up. So they'll be out of the east as the low moves eventually out of the northeast. So here's where we're sitting snowfall wise, traced to 5 centimeters for the northern peninsula, and then increasing as we head east, with most of the snow falling for eastern Newfoundland, or at least the Avalon towards Clarenville. We could pick up anywhere from 20 to 30 centimeters. Otherwise 10 to 20. Gander area, you're probably looking at about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, and then again 5 to 10 as you head a little bit further west. So here's where we'll be sitting overnight. Again, you'll note those wind shifts from southeast to northeast and then increasing through the overnight. Overall, somewhere between 0 and -4, but a little bit cooler up through the northern peninsula, the Straits at -10, into those minus double digits up through Labrador as well. Not a whole lot happening for you, just a slight chance of some flurries for Lab City, but your winds are also going to ease overnight tonight. Now into tomorrow, that low is going to head offshore. Those winds are going to pick up again, so we could see exposed areas seeing anywhere from around 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. This puts us through to tomorrow afternoon. We've still got that snow happening again, so it'll change over from freezing drizzle back over to some either light snow or flurries. But with those winds, we'll more than likely see some blowing snow. But we will see clearing skies from west to east as we head into the evening hours with those stronger winds sticking around rather, and a lovely day up through Labrador. Your temperatures will still be sitting quite mild, another 2-degree day possibly for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, plenty of sunshine for you. Chance of flurries again, but clearing west to east with those winds out of the north anywhere from 80 to 90 kilometers for the Avalon. So as we head into Thursday, it's going to be quiet for the first half of the day. Then we'll start to see some increasing cloud along the south coast. And then the potential for some flurries will move in overnight on Friday. It's looking like the next system is going to bring some rain with it. So it should try to get rid of some of the snow that we've been seeing or will see as we head through the overnight tonight. Just want to leave you with our weather photo of the day, Western Brook Gorge. What a gorgeous shot there. Thank you so much for sending that in. And if you have any weather photos, still share them with us. nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Well, thanks so much for watching our online update. For news anytime, check our website at cbc.ca/nl.